supported by MTN from the very beginning. Yes, and I'd also like to thank MTN were the only ones who gave me a gift this Christmas. They're the only ones.
Oh,
They gave me what I call bembe. You know what you call bembe? Okay, so bembe back in the day were the kind of suitcases, if you lived in England, like when my parents were coming back, these big suitcases are sturdy and they're big, massive. You can put, my mom put her plates, her cutlery, everything. So, and it's the kind of suitcase back in the day. Instead of when you were coming to Mr. Adelibigbe's house, you came with roller suitcases. Maybe you had about 6 or so. You have just one
trunk.
bembe.
I think they will call it a trunk. I think I know there are gift boxes that are fashioned.
I've been Nigerian man. We call it bembe.
There are gift boxes that are fashioned after that, so I can imagine.
You know, Yoruba is very tonal.
Yes.
Sure,
it is.
You know,
sure.
Only. You know, the
way you say it,
the way you say it is very tonal. Only, so they call it bembe. You know, I remember fella too. One day he was joking that they were asking him about his case, and you know, case is just a small disease. No, my case don't pass case, so it don't become bembe.
Oh wow, that's serious.
Thank you, MTN, for the
very
bembe.
Interesting.
So many things.
Thank you,
Maybe
MTN.
I'll throw you a chocolate or something. It was nice.
Oh, thank you so much. Shout out to MTN.
But it's not here. It's not here yet.
No, that's okay. Oh,
I hope it survives the next.
I hope so too, because Uncle Jimmy, you should not be seen with chocolates.
Yes, not be seen doesn't mean I can't taste them.
That's exactly what I mean. That's what it means.
I can taste it without being seen. Merry Christmas to everybody, because this is the Discourse before Christmas, and I don't have a guest, which also gives us the opportunity to go through the news. And there's a lot. You need to just sit back and listen to what we have. So I'll go through it page by page. Front page of the Punch says, this one is funny. Again, Port Harcourt refinery shuts down after $1.5 billion rehabilitation. You know, this Port Harcourt refinery be like NEPA. If he not go, he go come. If he not come, he go. You know, you just have. You know, today the refinery is open. You quickly put journalists in the bus and labor people. They go there. They sign off to it, and then before you know it, it is no longer functional. But what does the story say in full? Let me read this to you. It says, less than a month after Port Harcourt's refining company appeared to have resumed production, the facility stopped working. The Punch correspondent who visited the refinery on Thursday, December 19, observed that the lifting of PMS had stopped. And they said that about 18 trucks littered the stretch of the busy road leading to the refinery itself. Recall that the inauguration of the 60,000 barrel per day production capacity plant by the CEO of NNPC, Mele Kyari, was met with celebration and fanfare, and people have been taken in buses, in cars, and whatever. And so that's the news there. I had always been skeptical. I'm going to be very blunt. This government is nice on propaganda, but very slow on action. And I have no apologies for making that statement. It's always propaganda. We have. When you check properly, nothing. Okay, so that's what the Punch. There's another story in the Punch here. You might want to take out time to read it. It talks about POS operators are not conniving with banks to creating cash scarcity. Okay, and now all of you know, Mrs. Adelibigbe, there was the tragedy where we lost 35 children, and the latest is that, as of yesterday, it was said that the owner of Agidigbo FM, Hamzat, was said to have been in hospital. Okay, it was said that he fainted. It didn't say whether he fainted immediately he heard or he fainted later, but that he was in hospital and that he had an oxygen tank by his side. Well, today the Punch now says that the the ex-queen, the former wife of the Oni, has also been hospitalized. Yes, and that she was arrested by the police, but that she then collapsed on Friday, and she was immediately rushed to the police hospital at Leyele for medical treatment. And so both of them are currently at the hospital. They brought them in today, but I can't give you further details because it is a sensitive matter, and the police have barricaded the whole hospital. I think that they also put there for their own security. And also, it's not impossible that, being in hospital is better than being in jail, or being behind a counter in the police, whatever. So that is also possible. But it also says that the Inspector General has taken over the case. And he has taken charge of investigation. And I wonder why the IG would want to take over the case. You have AIGs, you have DIG, you have AIGs, even the commissioner. It's not a crime that has taken place like a bank robbery or a coup or whatever. It's just to find out the circumstances that led to the death. Okay, apparently it was a free opportunity because all the essentials were to be distributed free of charge. And even though they said it would start by 10, as early as 5 a.m., people had gotten to the venue. This is what all this poverty thing does. So really and truly, I don't think it demands that the Inspector General, it's not as if there was a bomb blast or whatever. It's just to investigate, talk to the organizers, and ask them simple questions. What arrangements did you make? And investigations can be over, and then you need to talk to a few victims and a few observers, and then you can conclude. But I think it's just a PR thing, just to say that the IG has taken over the case. When Muyiwa Adejobi, the police spokesperson, was contacted, he said he wouldn't comment at all. And I found that couldn't see as much as say that the IG has taken over the case, but he declined comments. I think it has become a very sensitive issue. So yes, there's still some of the kids in hospital and so on and so forth. And in response to the incident, the Oyo State government, in a statement, mandated all media houses hosting end-of-year children's fun fairs or public events to ensure the implementation of stringent safety measures. Now, during the week, if you listen to my program, I had said that we probably need a written manual of the A to Z about organizing public events. And the government surely can put that manual together, okay, to give to event planners and so on and so forth. That would help. That would help. And the government also wants that any organizers of social gatherings who jeopardize public safety, especially for children and the elderly, would face strict penalties. So that even means even your private party, you have to be sure that you follow the safety regime that should apply to such things. And the governor was born on 25th of December, and he has had to put off his birthday celebrations. There's also a story here about how the crowd trampled on my baby during the stampede. That's a survival. Right, we move on to another. We are still going to take your calls. Any minute from now, we'll open up our lines. But in the interim, federal government votes 27 billion. I'm not the Edo State governor, but I confess to you that I'm not very good at reading because I read in a hurry. So federal government votes 27 billion for Obasanjo, Gawan, Buhari, others in 2025. What does this mean? Are they giving them 27 billion? Let me see. It says the federal government has allocated a sum of 27 billion for the entitlements of former presidents, vice presidents, heads of state, chiefs of staff, retired heads of service, and professors in the 2025 fiscal year investigation by Sunday Punch has revealed. That's a lot of money. We hope the same will apply also to teachers and others. The Punch also has what you call cost-saving tips for large families this Christmas. It's a bit too late in the day. I think we are too close to Christmas for you now to start thinking of how you're going to budget. By now, I'm sure you'd have made up your mind where exactly. By the way, Mrs. Adelibigbe, I'm inclined to want to come to your house for Christmas lunch. Am I invited?
Are you invited? You would be if I were gonna be in the house.
How convenient. How can let me follow you to where you're
where I'm going? Are you sure?
Oh
my goodness.
Let me follow you to where I'm going. By the way, the children who were here about 2 weeks ago, I'd like them to go to my TikTok. There's an excerpt there that they will find quite amusing. And it says that children give money to Jimi Disu or something like that. And please follow me on my social handles, Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok. It's all at Jimi Disu. I don't have time to construct any new name. Okay, so
what about Double Chief Odogu Jimi Disu?
Odogu 1 and 2, please.
Forgive me.
There has to be a distinction.
Exactly, so that could be a handle.
Okay, yeah, maybe I should open one in Odogu 1 and 2.
No, people will think that you were cloned and it's a scam account. They won't think it's the real you.
Uncle Jimmy is not. Uncle Jimmy is not.
This is not the JD that I know.
This is not the JD. Uncle Jimmy is a Lagos boy, but my kids have Eastern blood in them. Yeah, yes. Well, that's the story. That's the story for another day.
It can be for today.
No, not today.
Not gonna put you on the spot.
I'm not gonna put you on the spot. Okay, so there's also apparently there are free train rides on all railway corporation rides. There's free train rides. But I would ask that what do they say? They say awoof the
the run belle or something like that.
The run belle. I don't think it would be wise, but I can imagine the crowd in the trains. And I don't trust safety measures in this country. I don't trust that they'll be able to put them under proper control. The railway can do all they want by to monitor the numbers being put on the trains. But what about getting into the station itself? I think that it would have been better if the government slashed the price, or if they said that you had to go and pick up a ticket from somewhere, so you can use that to control the numbers. This incident that happened in Ibadan, if they had charged, say, 2,000 per child, but you now give them something worth whatever, it would have restrained a lot of people. Once people hear free, but again, this is the photograph of the crush that I used to have until she went and got married to my bro. But it was an innocent crush, not that. Why do you want to look at the picture?
Who wouldn't want to look at the picture? I feel like we should turn it to the camera for the YouTube stream. Her?
Yes.
Oh, well, yeah, she's a very beautiful woman. She's a very beautiful woman. I'm sure a lot of people crushed on her.
Not just because she was beautiful, but I considered her a first-class actress. So let me leave everybody guessing who it could be.
Can I ask a follow-up question from that? Not about your crush. Not about your crush.
No, please. Okay, go on.
Just because you said first, you considered her a first-class actress, and I remember Genevieve Inaji, and I wonder, do you think she was worth the hype in terms of her acting?
Who, Genevieve?
Yes.
Yeah, I loved her. And there was one she did that I particularly like. I don't remember the name of these
back
movies.
then, yeah.
Yes, but there was one she did about her running a transport company that her father.
This is in recent times, right? This particular movie.
Maybe in the past 4 years or so.
Yes, I remember I think it was the first Nigerian movie to be on Netflix. It made.
Should I tell you what I like most about Genevieve?
Tell me.
That she kept her skin natural.
Oh yes, she's a beautiful woman, and
you Omokokwa has caused a lot of trouble. You people, or what my people, Yoruba people have only one name for anybody who is light skinned. Do you know what it is?
Tell me, please.
If you went to Jankara Market and they wanted to call you Sisi Yellow,
I think it was. Is it Lionheart? What's the name of that movie?
I did Lionheart.
Lionheart,
yes.
right? Yes, it was
yes.
Lionheart. Yes.
You don't know that nobody has called you yellow before in the market.
Oh no, they have. But these days you hear in Yaba is my color. This one, that one that you hear.
But my own people, my Yoruba
Oyibo.
people, they will call you either Igbo or call you yellow. Well, I don't know. How can anybody be yellow?
Madam Sabio.
Okay, so let's go on and see what's there's a story here about Wole Soyinka talking about Fela's life, death, and what it meant to me. You know, Fela and Wole Soyinka were cousins, and they were quite close. That I think I know about that. Now, this one is completely out of my is what is the word? Out of my capacity. But I think I'll just run it and leave you to decide. So I can't comment on this because I don't have any knowledge, very limited knowledge. But it talks about artists who ruled 2024. That is artists who made impact. Number one on the list is the one that I love the most, and that's Ashake.
Oh,
And Lonely at the Top gives me goose pimples, man.
Wow,
Yes. Then the other one also is Wizkid, who is my number 2. I just like his behavior, you know. He's quite, you know, he's a bit reserved, and so it also talks about Davido. It talks about Ira Star. Never heard of him.
Ira Star. Oh, that's
Is
the lady.
it called Ira Star?
Ira Star. She's female.
Be correcting me as I'm taboing on the names.
No problem. Sir.
Okay, I don't mind. I don't feel upset.
All right.
Okay, what about Thames?
Thames. Yes, you're correct.
So it talks about Thames. It talks about Rema.
Rema, very correct. You're
Yeah,
correct.
it talks about Rema. Then it talks about Damini Ogulu, a.k.a.
Burna Boy.
Burna Boy.
Damini Ogulu, aka Burna Boy. Yes.
Keep correcting
Yeah,
me, you know.
yeah,
We
well.
learn every day.
Yeah, do
He
well.
talks about Kiss Daniel.
Yes, Keith Daniel's
Yeah,
correct.
and he talks about Young John. Who is Young John?
He's a producer.
Oh, okay. So
He's produced a lot of hits. Yes.
Yeah, and then he now talks
maybe
about
he sings too. I don't know, but
he talks about Sheyi vibes.
Sheyi vibes. Okay, yeah, yeah.
And then it also talks about rising Afrobeat acts who made waves in 2024. There's Ayo Maf.
No, I haven't heard of him. Either.
What about Daku?
I haven't heard of him.
What about Kaid?
I have not heard of him.
What about Manny Wells?
Not heard of him.
What about Boy Spice?
Not heard of him.
Nasboyko?
Okay, I've seen that one's name. Yeah, I've heard of that one before.
Then it talks about celebrity beefs. I don't want to go into all that.
Gang.
They've had beefs amongst themselves.
They'll be alright.
I don't want to get involved. I shouldn't be talking about it. But it also talks about gospel artists.
Oh, now that's my category. I would be able to know those ones.
Do you know Nathaniel Bassey?
Of course.
You know him?
Pastor
Who is he?
Pastor Nathaniel Bassey. He's one of
Sing one of his songs.
there's so many. There is
There is
from the rising
There
of
is
the
power.
sun to the setting of the same. Your name is to be.
Did he sing it in this voice like this?
I cannot sound exactly like him.
I'm glad. I'm glad.
But you know that's
Okay, there's Moses Bliss.
oh fantastic. Yes.
There's Mercy Chinwo.
Of course. Yes.
And there's Dunsin Oyekon.
Dunsi Oyeko. Yes.
Is it Dunsin?
Dunsi? Yes. Oyeko.
Dunsin, okay. Dunsin Oyekon.
Yeah. These are
There's
amazing
Sumisola Agbebi.
Yes, Sumisola Baby. Yes, you're correct.
What about Ebuka Songs?
Yes, I'm aware of him as well.
Victor Thompson?
Not too familiar with his music, but the name is
Never heard
familiar.
of him.
Yeah.
Tim Godfrey.
Ah, yes, of course. Sam Godfrey.
Bidemi Olaoba.
Laoba, yes. Energy.
This one said to Mirabel Somi.
I don't know. Let me see. This one, she said.
No, he said, look at.
Oh, no. Oh, okay. I don't know.
Mirabel Somi, he said. Then it talks about Mike Abdul.
Yes, know him. You know him.
You know him. Okay. Also in the air is Lateef Adedimeji. Mo Binkwe's Passion Excites fans. I think they probably have a movie. By the way, have you watched Seven Doors?
No, I've not. I've seen it.
I give Femi Adebayo good kudos. Yes. I tried to interview him some time ago, but he broke the house rule. He came late. But it would be nice to have him. There are a few questions that I'd love to have him, to ask him about the movie Seven Doors, because it is very, very revealing. It's highly traditional. If you are the scary type, don't watch it.
Okay.
Or watch it from a safe distance.
Oh, during the day when lights is
During
still
the
outside.
day when
No,
lights
in the
are
night.
on. You know, but it's very, very revealing. Loaded with all the actors. I think it's top heavy on actors.
Yes.
The problem with having a movie that is top heavy on actors is that there are some actors who you have known with certain roles.
They're stereotyped.
They're stereotyped. So it takes a while for you to be able to,
to marry the new character.
Yes,
yeah.
but I think he didn't want to take any chances. So it's very, very top heavy. Congratulations to Femi Adebayo. And this is an open invitation to him if he gets in touch.
Do you have an issue with how revealing it is in terms of the culture and tradition? Because there was a particular movie that came out a few years back, a Nigerian movie, that I think was even banned from the video on demand service where it was available on, because it said it portrayed Lagos in a bad light.
Oh no, that particular movie you're talking about, I think whoever banned whatever it was an overkill. It wasn't as bad as that. What it just did was that the film reflected possibly the life and pattern of one or two top elites in Lagos. And they used their influence to ban the movie. There was nothing. I watched it on Amazon.
It was not that big a deal.
There was nothing that you didn't know, really. I think it was a big force that was made in the case of that movie. It was a very big force. And there was nothing that at least I'm a Lagosian, and I always boast to share if I'm a double, it's
double bad.
It's not
easy.
Double-barreled one, because from my mom and my dad, they're from the same arena. My dad is from Isaleko, my mom is from campus area.
I sure they're no cousins.
They're not cousins, though. Mrs.
Because my mom and dad are also from the same state, Ebonyi State, same town, but different villages. So people always ask, "Are you sure that?" I'm like, they were not related, please.
Anyway, to play, this cousin thing can be a very dangerous thing. So to play safe, if anybody is going to be dragging me again, I won't be signing anything with anybody. But if anybody is going to be dragging me again, it had better be away from Yoruba land.
Let me off my mic at this point.
Why do you want to off your mic? I'm happy about what we have. What you have captured. It'd be good to capture another one from the same geographical area.
What's interesting is my dad-in-law is Yoruba and my mom-in-law is Igbo. So he married an Igbo woman, and then his son went ahead to marry an Igbo woman as well. Very interesting.
My friends had told me, I have two friends, Igbo women. So they said, Uncle Jimmy, go and marry a nice Igbo girl.
Wow.
Go and marry a nice Igbo girl. She will push you. I told them, but I'm old. I can't be pushed. I'm old. They said, no.
I don't know about
but
that.
We are very happy with this one. No? Very happy with
I'm very happy to be part of the family now. Oh my God.
Okay, this place is hot. I will die.
Okay, God forbid. Okay.
It says that there's an interview here that talked about pastors defrauded us while searching for my brother missing for 16 years. Of course, that would most likely happen. They'll be, giving you, they'll try to give you direction on how to do this and do that, and revelations and so on and so forth. It also talks about soaring costs, shrinking income, and damping Yuletide. Okay, so that's about. And I also, teacher who sodomized my 10-year-old son must go to jail. I don't want to read that. And it also has a feature on Lagos hideout where foreigners pay Nigerian recruits 300k for romance scam. Oh, crime. Okay, so 0201 277 0993 and 0201 465 7190. We will take your calls, then we'll go on break, and when we come back, we'll look at the stories making the rounds in the Vanguard. Okay? So, do we have a caller?
Yes.
Hello, good morning.
Onye what a guan.
Yes.
Good morning, sir.
Odogu 1 and 2.
Yes.
Bilikwe.
Yeah, Abi, how do I answer now? Odima.
Odogu 1 and 2 himself.
How are you?
Fine, sir. Quick one,
Yes.
The Port Harcourt refinery.
Yes.
You know the week that news broke out that the thing has started working, right?
Yeah.
On Kofi program, there's one guy. He always support Buhari regime to the letter.
Yes.
And he continues. That day, the guy was celebrating. Yes, you see Nigerians now. The Port Harcourt refinery. What did I say? I called. I said, no. This is Koniman die while you were
This is Koniman die while you were buried. I said it be like Fela talk. If he not go, it be like NEPA. You know. No, so the day it works, we start all PH refinery.
Not be small, oh. You know Frank Kokori, right? During Abiola June 12.
Yes.
Where they were disturbing and they did some damage to that refinery.
Yes.
I listened to news then. They said the damage, they can never fix that thing. So all those dollars they are pumping into that refinery is a contract.
The dollar where they say they take where they say they take refurbish themselves. Are you sure that kind of money would not have set up another refinery entirely?
That's what I'm telling you. It's a
and they would have left this one as a kind of museum, petroleum museum.
They know what they are doing, my brother. Like I always say, we all are in for it. So they go 1 or 2.
Yes,
Rachel will be in the hospital on Monday, sir. I'll give you the feedback.
Please, and give her our love.
Thank you for all your support. Thank you, my brother.
Okay.
Right, you know, we were supposed to welcome his Ghanaian woman, but she ran into a health problem. Okay, so let's pick up. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, Uncle Jimmy.
Morning.
Mrs. Adedi.
Good morning, sir.
My name is Peter calling from Shongutedu.
Yes.
I want to react to one of the papers you read. Correct me if I'm not getting it correct. You talk about the paper says about 27 billion budgeted for ex-president and the rest.
Yes.
I'm correct.
Yes.
Yeah, this is my personal reaction, my personal opinion. I feel that these past president and vice president and the likes should not be pensionable again. These are the things that runs Nigeria down. Considering that let me use for example, those military presidents and head of state that were in the military. This is my question. Will they be collecting their military pension at the same time collecting? These are the things that kills Nigerians. And moreover, you know that politics is an appointment and it has a duration. So I want the National Assembly possibly to write up all these things so that we can. I don't know. Good morning, Uncle Jimmy. I love the show.
Thank you. All right, we have another call. We have to wrap up. We can't take. Okay, so we'll take a short break. When we come back, we'll take a few more calls and then look at what's going on in the Vanguard. So don't go away.
The Discourse with Jimi Disu. The Discourse with Jimi Disu continues in a moment. It's a Merry Christmas to you. Peace and joy to you and your family this holiday season from the Info Family 99.3. It's a Merry Christmas to you. Peace and joy to you and
Babe,
your family.
I've been calling you all day. Where have you been?
Still trying to link my NIN. Like the queue is so long.
Haven't you linked it before?
I have, but I made a mistake with my date of birth.
But you could have done it at home if you visited www.nin.mtn.ng.
Why did you tell me since?
Act now. Link your NIN from the comfort of your home, office, or while you're on the move. Visit www.nin.mtn.ng to correct any error, whether it's someone else's picture, wrong date of birth, someone else registered your line for you, and so on. Remember, visit www.nin.mtn.ng to link your NIN instantly. Babe, I've been calling you all day. Where have you been?
Still trying to link my NIN. Like the queue is so long.
Haven't you linked it before?
I have, but I made a mistake with my date of birth.
But you could have done it at home if you visited www.nin.mtn.ng.
Why did you tell me since?
Act now. Link your NIN from the comfort of your home, office, or while you're on the move. Visit www.nin.mtn.ng to correct any error, whether it's someone else's picture, wrong date of birth, someone else registered your line for you, and so on. Remember, visit www.nin.mtn.ng to link your NIN instantly.
And now, we are back on the Discourse with Jimi Disu.
You're welcome back to the Discourse with Jimi Disu, brought to you by MTN. You see the way life is. This discourse was my creation, and Kelvin is now reminding me that the discourse itself is 12 years old and not 10. And that I ran that program for the first 2 years before I got my sponsor. Yeah, thank you very much, Kelvin. You see, perseverance is... I was so determined and I was so sure that that's what I wanted, and I was ready to wait until I found somebody who would sponsor it way back then. So I ran it for 2 years, no income. That's a lesson to other people. Okay, so let's move on. A lot of things have happened since then, but this is another story for another day. The Vanguard leads with a story, Japa phenomenon exposing increase in paternity fraud. Yes. If you want to apply for you, your wife and children and so on and so forth, there's a likelihood they'll be demanding for DNA proof about the children. And yes, I agree that that has led to a lot of crisis. Peter Obi has said that he is going to help Dele Farutimi perfect his bail. He was in the magistrate's court yesterday and was given bail in the sum of 30 million. And that also whoever is going to bail him should have a property in Ekiti State. Well, I'm not a lawyer, but anyway, let's move on. Let's just leave that one, okay? Ex-banker Olushakin, others arraigned for alleged armed robbery. A banker turned businessman, Olufemi Olalekan Olushakin, alongside 2 others, have been charged to magistrate's court in Ibadan for alleged robbery. Olushakin, now at large, the 2 suspects, Akanbi and Adewale, were alleged to have conspired to commit felony, to wit, armed robbery, and therefore committed an offense contrary to whatever it is. The police prosecutor said that Olushakin, a former branch manager at that level with a second generation bank and now chairman of LAC Autos and Spare Limited, alongside with 2 others, allegedly forcefully gained entrance into Global Signature Hotel in Ibadan by disarming the security man at the gates. Usman stated that the suspects made forceful and unlawful entry to the hotel and went straight to the control room, destroying the CCTV, and they cut off the CCTV machine. After vandalizing it, they went to the POS machine, took the machines of the company, and went to the manager of the hotel, Wandari Akinola, and at gunpoint took him to the cash registry to collect all the sales of the week and so on and so forth. Anyway, our famous white, is he called white elephant or whatever they call him, Yaya Bello, has met his bail condition and will be spending Christmas at home. But he would have to leave his passport behind. Ibadan Farm Fair stampede. The pain of losing 2 children is undescribable. Distraught mother laments. I don't want to read that. I don't want to read that at all. But the court has sentenced a man to death for murder of a 6-month-old baby, Mrs. Adedibibe, in Delta State. And it's also said here that the NDLA have strengthened airport operations. Okay. What else is there? There's a story here that says, this has to be proven, I don't know yet, that oil marketers have slashed petrol price to 939 naira per liter, 939.50 per liter. That I need to see. And yes, the story is here. Obi offers to fulfill bail conditions for Farotimi. Right. 2027. This is very unique. 2027. We have no confidence in INEC to conduct credible polls. That is what majority of Nigerians are saying in this story, and I join them. Indeed, I'm going to have Jide Ajani. Jide Ajani had a story on Friday, if you remember, in the Vanguard, making a distinction between what happens in Ghana and what happens in Nigeria. So I was able to get him, and he'll be coming on Tuesday. I still have the article with me, and we'll both go over it. We have agreed that if we don't, because it's quite a long article, and I'm ready to handle it thoroughly, we might just jolly well go on till Thursday. Part of the point says is that most Nigerians believe that INEC won't have a credible election in 2027. And I would like to add, as long as it's headed by this gentleman, I don't see what new thing can come out. INEC failed to improve its performance in off-cycle elections. Call for urgent critical reforms before next election. There must be consequences for electoral fraud. I think, to be honest with you, it depends on whether those in power actually want a free and fair election. Because if look at what Jonathan did with Jega, okay, yes. A lot depends on the president. If the president wants free and fair elections, he needs to bring in a neutral person, okay, and down the line and insist. You see, this idea of wanting to do reforms, you cannot be doing reforms all your life. The truth is, reforms must be backed by intention. Okay, for me, that's why I don't listen to all this propaganda about this reform or that reform and this reform. It's intention that is most important. People talk about, the constitution has to be changed. Our problem is not the constitution. Our problem is the people. And simply, they don't obey laws. And there are no consequences for bad behavior and breaking these laws. Pure and simple. You can tidy up certain areas. That is done continuously. But where, as a society, we don't agree that our laws should be adhered to the letter, that is where the problem lies. I don't see why you couldn't have had a free and fair election with with the gentleman. With what we have on ground as far as processes go. If we all have an intention to do the right thing. Okay, so what other story do we have? Igwe Lazekweme. Some of you older people will know Lazekweme. He was the younger brother of Chief Alex Ekweme, who was a former vice president of this country. A perfect gentleman. I'm always so proud of. Do you know that Chief Alex Ekweme, I think he was an architect? I think he also had a degree in law, and maybe 2 more degrees or something like that. Very distinguished gentleman. Did you ever hear of him? Oh my God! You're making me feel like as if I'm somebody you went to bring from the museum. How could you have heard of Ekweme? And Igwe Lazekweme says that he regrets troubles that denied Oko Ofala Festival in 20 years. He hasn't had that. He said, they battled me, set traps for me, and tried to kill me. But that the Oko Ofala, is that what the pronouncement? It returns in January. And he celebrates his family. He has, 14 medical doctors, 7 lawyers, 11 engineers, 4 pharmacists, and 8 architects. Wow. This is what people should. These are things that are this is what, it's not your fancy car or your mansion or whatever. I don't know who's going to twist our brains. Close your eyes and go to the villages and see what people build just to show off. The moment they die, it becomes a house for rodents and the scorpions and whatever. We need to apply common sense in the things that we do. But then, the famous Nedwoko is Senator Prince. Nigerians are entitled. Wouldn't Senator just be nice enough? But it says Senator Prince Ned Nwoko is, I think, 64 or so, yes. And of course, you know that he married a much younger wife. How do you think that pans out, though? That kind of age gap, does it matter? On it. On your mic.
Well, I mean, I guess it's down to preference. I mean, my opinion would be my preference. I think it's too much of an age gap for a husband and wife. But I guess some people I understand preferring older men for some women, but I think that's too old. It's too much older, in my personal opinion, anyways.
But I'm glad you said that. It's a matter of preference. There are no rules. I think people generally want to do what they want and what is comfortable for them. But what I do know that is certain is that the much younger wife is going to spend a larger part of her life by herself.
That's one of the things I think of. Is don't you want to grow old together?
It's not a death sentence, because whoever has made that decision will factor in all that, and hopefully. Maybe we'll be saying that, look, after I've had maximum 20, 25 years and thereabout, I'm ready to just be a nice, old, growing old woman. The problem for me as a man is the reality of being together whilst one is getting old and the other is younger.
Exactly.
The man would find it difficult to meet certain expectations, which I cannot say on air.
No, those are valid concerns, actually.
Yes, and the devil then creeps in.
Yeah.
The man would be under pressure. He'll be watching the woman's movement it's just natural.
Insecurity,
yes. But then I've now been told that if the younger one is intentional, as woman, that there are other ways around these things. Yes, I was given a lecture.
Interesting.
Yes, within the premises.
I see. Interesting.
Anyway, happy birthday to... And he has more than one, really. I think he has about 3 wives now.
Imagine that.
Yes, our fathers did it. Our fathers did it. If we are going to check the paycheck of the... What was the surname again?
Ekumankama. My maiden name
old pie Ekumankama of that time.
Well,
he probably had about 10.
Oh, he had more. His record, because I'm
more.
From the royal family where I'm from. I heard he had about 17 wives.
He had 17.
I heard, yeah.
Mr. David, do you hear that?
No, we don't do that. It has gone with that time. We don't do that.
It has not gone.
It has gone. We don't do that anymore. We don't do that here.
We should keep to our tradition.
No, please, not that one. There's some, yes, some should be. Some should stay in the past where it is, please.
Imagine if we had 17 of Mrs. Adedewe in your house. Only you.
God forbid. I will not agree. One and only.
God forbid.
For both parties.
God forbid.
But how did they even cope? It's too much.
But
even King Solomon, how did he do it?
And those ones are mavericks now. Those ones are.
You will not see some in a whole year.
Yes. Those ones are. But God bless Egbon and Nicola Kwame. He rests in peace. He married 27 in one day. You didn't hear that?
For why? What's the reason?
Well, they were already with him. And he felt that because of the stigma at that time, that to give them a better place in society.
So pity. Out of pity.
Yeah, but they were already his babes. So he married 27, and then one day he just got up and said, I'm not married again. And that was it. And they allowed those two. And some kept his name till today.
So interesting.
Yes, some kept his name till today. They are Mrs. Andikulapo Kutis. If it was traditionally like he used to be in the past, most of them would have been in Femi's house now. With maybe Madi helping him out with 2 or 3.
Wow. You see, these kinds of traditions need to stay in the past.
By the way, have you heard Femi's new tune? It's a banger, Femi Kuti, and I hope I can get him next week. I know it's difficult to bring him down here. We'll try to do it by Zoom to talk about his new track. Beautiful, and of course, it has a political undertone. Okay, so it also talks about soaring prices and so on and so forth. And There's a bit of football here, but I don't like talking about football because I'm completely an ignoramus when it comes to soccer. I just like watching the game. Even though I claim I'm an Arsenal fan, but I love watching my favorite teams. I love watching Liverpool play. I think I'm still an Arsenal fan, but I like to follow Liverpool. The teams I don't watch at all are Chelsea. Man U, Man U is neither here nor there. I like to watch Man U because of Bad Bele. I like to see them thoroughly flogged because of some of my friends who are diehard Man U fans. So I have something to make fun of them, So there's a Fuji explosion during this Christmas period. Those of you who are, Fuji fans.
I'm already seeing cues.
Yeah, already what?
No, it has nothing to do with Fuji. Let me not digress.
Okay. It talks about Nollywood dancers. Shine Roman Chidimma.
Is your crush there?
Dazzle at grand premiere of AY's The Waiter.
Is your crush there? Was your crush
there? Was she at the premiere? I wasn't there.
No, but you keep tabs on your former crush now.
I don't keep tabs. So she's been hard.
She's been taken.
She's been taken. I can only look from the sideline. I can't even look from the sideline. I can only commit what you call peeping. I can peep.
Oh my goodness.
And it says 50 million naira up for grabs as the next Titan season 10 begins. I hope this The Waiter will be on Netflix. I'd love to watch it. But I'm very happy about what is happening in the movie industry. This guy's movie is very, very good. Femi, what's his name? Femi Adebayo.
The Seven Doors.
Okay. Quite a very good attempt. But I hear Kemi Adetiba is coming up with something. I heard this last year. I don't know if it's been well cooked. The story here says that OPay is set to revolutionize digital payment landscape. If you pick up the Vanguard, you'll get the details. And a column called Downfall Letters, Dr. Igoji Igbujo writes a letter to Dele Farutini. My good friend, Mr. Muyiwa Adetiba, has his column, Whatever You Do, Don't Fall. This is for 60 plus. When you get to 60, there's still time, Mrs. Adetiba. You are not 60 anywhere near 60 yet. When you get to that age, you got to be careful how you move around. What's the time? 9:51. Let me take one or two more calls and I'll be out of here.
All right, sir.
Go enjoy my weekend. Hello, good morning.
Hello, Uncle Jimmy. Good morning.
Morning.
Hey, my name is Peter Monson from Shomolu.
Yes, go on.
Please, when you watch Arsenal in England, also watch Real Madrid in Spain. Those are my two clubs. Very quickly, Adelvigwe is talking about the age gap too long, just by the way.
Yeah.
I covered a burial as a photographer. The husband was just 32 years old.
Yes.
He died at age 32. And then the wife was about 18. And somebody then said that, look, as the old men die and leave their wives, so young men as well die and leave their wives.
Yes.
It's all about what you do in that period of marriage. For those that are collecting how much money retire, the head of state, I think that money is too much. No wonder they don't talk when they listen to talk.
Okay, thank you very much.
God bless Obasanjo for us.
I also like for you to know that there are some unwritten privileges that go with being a past president. There are some unwritten ones that are at the discretion of the current president. The president can easily say that, take these vehicles, I want to buy these vehicles for them, I want to do this, I want to do that. So it's not even so much that they can even make the plane available for them if they're going on certain trips. It's endless. It's endless. Yes, another caller. Hello, good morning. Morning.
Yeah, good morning, Uncle Jimmy.
Morning.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
That's the very reason why our budget every year is growing. It can never shrink with all these additions here and there.
Yes.
And then also looking at at INEC, the way they are now.
Yes.
When there is no punitive measure for bad behavior.
Yes.
No accountability. It's like INEC is not accountable to the Nigerian people, to the electorate. Yeah. Imagine more than 90 million people registered voters. How many came out to vote? How many collected their voters' card? And now you say you want to do paper people should be using. I mean, is that the problem? How can you on election day tell us there was a glitch? You can't be telling. No technical person will accept that excuse from INEC.
Okay, thank you very much, ma'am. Point noted. I'll also let you know that El Rufai's son made a point that is valid, Mrs. Adelibe. In every budget, you find the same ministry buying the same number of cars, sometimes more, the same number of stationery, the same number of this, the same number of that. Don't we have carryovers? Don't we have an accounting process? How can the ministry be buying 50 cars every year? Have they had 50 more people? Shouldn't a one vehicle have a minimum lifespan of 4 years before you write it off and things like that? That's why I don't bother to talk about the budget. When Sheriff and I, or with Kofi Battles, when we are on air and the story of budgets come up, I just skip it. It's something that I find completely offensive. Budget padding has been going on repeatedly. I haven't heard any sane country where you will present your budget to the National Assembly and they will have a feeling that they need to add to what you have. Instead of them to reduce, they now add. They add projects, they add all kinds of things. Only in Nigeria. I've not heard. Maybe there is, but I've not heard of. The kind of budget process that we have is very irritating to any intelligent person. Mrs. Adelibi is 9:55. I have to leave. Okay, I'm going to leave you in the hands of Mrs. Adelibi. Yeah. Hopefully, I'll be back on Tuesday with Jide Ajani to look at the comparison between Nigeria and Ghana politically. And of course, on Christmas Day, we will have a bumper Diabomi.
It's going to be fun, I'm
sure. It's
going
to be fun on Christmas Day. It will be a bumper-sized Diabomi. Bumper. We'll do it bumper to bumper. Okay, have a nice weekend, and I'll see you all on Tuesday. Bye.
.3 Nigeria Info. We are more than just radio. Subscribe to our YouTube channel at Nigeria Info FM. Check us out on Facebook at Nigeria Info 99.3. Follow us on Twitter at Nigeria